Good evening once again. Today is the week 7 of this nationwide graduate IT employability skills, which is organized by Hammad Technologies and Consultancy Limited. So, as always, we start by showing our outlines. That is what we are going to cover for today. And our outlines for today goes like this. But before we begin showing our outlines, I would like to welcome each and every one of you back from the field because for the past 2 weeks, you have been in the field conducting a survey on different topics. And some of you have been sending their pictures to us, and we have been posting your pictures to the group. So you have done a great job. So once again, you are all welcome. So our outlines for today goes like this. We are going to have a recap on week 4. Then today we are going to start introduction to Microsoft Excel. Then we'll have a question and answer session, then conclusion, and finally call it a day. So if you can remember, before you people go on a survey, on week 4, our mentor and our boss discuss Google Form with you people. We have seen how to develop a questionnaire using Google Form, we have seen how to create a Google Form, how to create question, how to set variables under each and every question. Maybe if a question requires multiple choice, you have seen how to do that. And you have also seen how to share your Google Form to respondent for them to fill the form. And you have also seen how to download the data you have collected. Uh, then we have also discussed on ODK, that's Open Data Kit. We have also seen how to create a form, how to deploy the form, then how to go to the field and collect data using the form. Then we have also discussed on ComCare. So I think this is what we have covered for on week 4. So today we are going to have an introduction to Microsoft Excel. Normally, Microsoft Excel is among the Microsoft packages. As you all know, we have Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Access. So this Microsoft Excel is also among the Microsoft Office packages. So, and this Microsoft Excel, it is being used by offices, companies, schools, etc. And also this Microsoft is among the packages or is among the software that is being used by billions of users across the world. Globally, Microsoft Excel is used globally across the world, and it is easy to understand. Don't think Microsoft Word is that hard. No, it is user friendly and it is easier to understand. So and you hear some people calling it a spreadsheet. Yeah, some people call it spreadsheet. But spreadsheet and Excel are different things, please. As I was saying before, my network just shakes. Microsoft Word is easier to understand, and it is being used by billions of users across the world. So many people use it either in company, organizations, and also schools. And some people used to call it spreadsheet. So spreadsheet and Excel, please, are different things. Some people refer spreadsheet to Google Sheet. If you have worked or you are familiar with Google Sheet, it looks similar to Excel, although Excel has some features that Google Sheet doesn't have. So that's why some people used to call Google Sheet as spreadsheet, and some people used to call Excel as a spreadsheet. So this and also this Microsoft Excel is of different version. Yeah, it's of different version. Some people are using 2007, 10, 13, 16, 19, and the updated one, which is 365, which you have to pay. It is paid one, it is paid version. But there are some people that are using cracked version of it. So there are different version of Excel. So what this Microsoft Excel can do? This Microsoft Excel some people use it to store data or to enter data. Some people use Microsoft Excel as their database. So they use it to store data of people. So some people use it as database. Some people use it for data entry, and it is also used for data cleaning. Maybe like this survey that you have went to and collect data. So now for you to start working with the data, you have to clean it because there are possible errors or there are some possible variables that you need to clean before you start working or before you start analyzing the data. So Microsoft Excel, some people use it for data cleaning, and it's also used for calculation, like more like all these provision stores. Some people use it for their daily calculations. They use it to track the expenses. They use it to track what they have sell so far. So some people use it for calculation. Even in schools, they use it for calculation, maybe calculating CGPA, grade, average of students. So it is also used in calculation. Some people use it for analysis and visualization. Yeah, some people use Microsoft Excel to visualize and analyze the data they have collected. Like this data now that you went to field and collect. So if you want to analyze it and at the same time visualize it, you can use Microsoft Excel for that. Then also you can use Microsoft Excel to export. Maybe now you want to export data to maybe to SQL or Power BI. Some of you here may know what is SQL and Power BI. There are also some softwares we use for data analysis. So if you like, you can export data from your Excel to them. Or maybe you want to export data to XAMPP database, some that are into coding. So you can use this Excel to also export the data. So what are the importance of this Excel? The importance of this Excel is that Excel is simple to understand and it is globally recognized. I can say that there is no industry that you will see they are not using Excel, more especially here in Nigeria. Most of our companies, most of our organizations, most of our ministries, you see them using Excel. As I said earlier, some use it to store data. They use it as their database, and some use it to enter data for data entry. So it is globally recognized. And it is also used, it is importance, or it is also used for data organization. Maybe you want to organize data or for automation. You can automate a template in Excel that will be tracking the expenses of your shop. For example, you own a provision shop. So you can just create a simple template that you just need to enter the variables. Okay, so maybe I have this variable. So this month I bought so quantity of this variable. So as you are just entering the number, it will just be calculated. Okay, in the store we have this, we sold. So I think this is all about introduction to Microsoft Excel. So I think now let's just take a tour through Microsoft Excel interface. Let's see what is Microsoft Excel interface. So let me stop sharing my screen, please. Please, can you all see my screen? If you can see my screen, please let me know so that you can continue. Okay, so now this is Microsoft Excel. So if you open your Microsoft Excel, this is how it will looks like. Regarding the version, as I said earlier, some people are using different versions. Some people are using 2007, 2010, 13, 16, 19, up to the updated version, which is 365, and also is a paid version, but some people are using cracked version of it. So as you open Microsoft Excel, this is the interface, or this is the workbook. This is the workbook. So as you can see now, it shows book one. So this is this is the title bar of your Microsoft Excel. So it shows book one. So you see, so the entire interface now is the workbook of this Microsoft Excel. So now you all know how to save a file, but we can do that. So now any name we give this file is the name that will appear at this book one now. Let's take, for example, we want to name it. Let's say we want to save it. So for us to rename the workbook, so we have to save it. So then we can choose browse. So from there, we can choose a folder that maybe we want to save it. Let's say desktop. So I think let's just save it here. So let's just call it NGs. Let's say week 7. So you see, now the name of the workbook changed from book 1 to NGs, right? So this is how you save your workbook. So by default, if you open Microsoft Excel, the name of your workbook appears as book 1. So, but when you save it, so the name will change and it will turn to the name you gave it. So, uh, after this, then we have what we call worksheet. We have what we call worksheet in Microsoft Excel. So as you can see, this is sheet 1. If you like, you can add another sheet. This is with sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, sheet. So continuously you can add any number of sheets you want, because each workbook of Excel you can add up to 255 worksheets in one single workbook. You can add up to 255 worksheets. As you can see, this is sheet 1, this is sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, sheet 5. That's worksheet. So now, let's say, for example, maybe you want to rename the name of the sheet from sheet 1 to another name. So what you just do, you just double click on it. Then maybe let's say this is day 1. So you see, now you have changed name. Or you just right click on it, then click on rename. So let's say, for example, this is week 2. So now you see, this is how you rename a worksheet. See, you just right click on it, then click on rename, then you click on, and then you just give it any name you want. So you see, so then let's say, for example, I want to delete all this sheet now. I want to delete this sheet 5, sheet 4, sheet 3. You just right click on it, then click on what? Delete. So now you have deleted sheet 5. Then this sheet 4 again now. Just right click on it, click on delete. So that's how you delete sheet, and this is how you rename it and also add a sheet. Then, so in this worksheet now, we have what we call grid lines. You see, all these lines now that you are seeing, all these lines, they are the grid lines. And these grid lines, they are just there in Microsoft Excel for guidelines. They are just there to guide you. Some people, when they open Microsoft Excel, when they just see these lines, they will just fear. So please don't fear. Uh, these lines shouldn't make you fear Microsoft Excel, please. They are just there to guide you. If you like, you can remove them. So you see, now it has turned to blank page, like Microsoft Word page. So these grid lines, they are just there to help. They are just there to guide you. So please don't panic if you if you open your Microsoft Excel and see these grid lines. They are just there to help you. They are just there for decoration purpose, or they are just there for guidelines. So these lines are what we call grid. These lines are what we call grid lines in Microsoft Excel. Then we also have what we call a cell. You see this green small rectangle? You see, this small green rectangle is what we call a cell. As you can see now, if I remove the grid lines, it's still there. So you see, small rectangle, this small green rectangle is what we call a cell. Then we also have what we call a cell designation or cell address. So what makes up cell designation or cell address or name of a cell is the intersection of your column and your row. Now, what are columns and what are rows in Excel? This alphabetic these alphabetic orders A, B, C, D, E, F, G, they are your columns. As you can see, this is column A, column B, column C, column D. These are what we call columns. So in each sheet of Microsoft Word, we have up to 16,384 columns. These columns that you are seeing from column A. Now, if you hold your control and click on your left arrow, so you see, this is the last column that we have in each and every sheet, which is what? XFD. You see? So these columns now, they are up to 16,384. As you can see, they start from A, B, continuously. You see? A, B, up to XFD. So these are for columns. These are columns that are arranged in alphabetic order. Then these are rows. You see? These are rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then for rows, we have 1,048,576 rows. As you can see, these are the number of rows that we have. 1,048,576 rows. So you see, now in one single workbook now, we can record the data for the whole Nigerian people. We need only one single workbook. Because now, in each and every workbook, we have 16,384 columns. Then we have 1,048,576 rows. So you see, and you can have up to 255 sheets. So you see, you need only one workbook to record all Nigerian data. All the people in Nigeria, you can record their data using one single workbook. And maybe in a state in Nigeria, maybe there is a state in Nigeria that you can even use a single sheet, not even single workbook, a single sheet to record all their data. So this is column and this is row. So that's what takes us to cell designation. As I said, cell designation is the coming together or is the intersection of your column and your row. So you see, this is C. So now if you want to name like this, if they ask you now, you are in which cell? As you can see, this cell is highlight green. So this is cell what? As you can see, it is in column J. Then row what? Row 4. So it means I'm in column J4. That's why they say it is the intersection of column and row, not intersection of rows and column. If it is intersection of row and column, it will be 4J, which is not a name. So you see, intersection of this column and intersection of this row is what gives a cell name, or is what gives a cell a designation or an address. And this is the easier way to identify. Just track the column and track the row your cell is. You can just say the name. Or you can just come to this name box. You see? You can just come to this name box. You see, it will just display the name. This is C3. This is F6. This is K6. This is O5. So you see? So this is how you name a cell using the intersection of the column and the intersection of your row. So that's cell designation. Uh, then now we also move to this what brings us to cursors in Excel. We also have cursors in Excel. Excel is among the softwares that has plenty cursors. But in other softwares like Microsoft Word, this is the only cursor that you'll be seeing. This by default cursor, this is the cursor we are using. But in Excel, it uses different cursors. For example, this cursor that you are seeing, this one now, this cursor that has like a plus sign. So it's what we call highlighting cursor. You can highlight any cells. You can highlight as much number of cells you want to highlight using this cursor. You see? As you can see, whenever we click on cell, it will just highlight it. So this cursor now is what we use to highlight. You can either highlight column, highlight row, you can highlight anything you want using this type of cursor. This is what we call a highlight cursor. Then we also have a dragging cursor. As you can see, let me zoom my screen. As you can see now, in each and if you highlight a cell, you see a small dot. You see, you see a small dot at the down end of it. So now, if you just hover your cursor to it, this is how your cursor will looks like now. So this is what we call a dragging cursor. So you see, you can just drag. Maybe let's say you wrote one here. So then maybe you want to drag this one. You want to write this one across all, maybe across, let's say, from here to here. Let's say this is where you want to drag this number one. So you just come here. You see, this is your dragging cursor. Now you just hold it. You just hold your left click and drag. So you see, so this is dragging cursor. Then maybe you want to move this so if this is highlighting cursor and this is dragging cursor. So now maybe you want to move this one, this range of this one, range of these numbers, maybe to another column. Then this is movement cursor. This cursor we use it to move. As you can see, you see, if you touch either each of your highlighted range, this the cursor will just appear like this. You see, this one is highlighting. Then this one now, if you just touch the edge, you see, just touch the edge, it will just appear. So this is movement cursor. Maybe you want to move this range from to another, you just hold it. You see, now you can be able to move it to anywhere you like within your worksheet. So you see, so that's movement cursor. This is highlighting, this is dragging, and this is movement cursor. So then we also have a cursor that we use to increase the width or height of your column or row. Let's say, for example, now we want to increase the height of this. No, we want to increase the width of this column now. So as we can see, if you come at the top, you see this cursor now. You see, so when you hold it and drag, so now you have increased the width. You have increased the width of this column now. Then maybe you want to reduce it. It's the same thing. You just come at the top of the column. Just when you come at the top of the column, then come at the end. So you see, if you come at the end, this is how it will looks like. So you see, then maybe you want to increase the height, the height of the row. So you just come at the end of the row, then come at the end, then just drag. So you see, now you have increased the height and you have increased the width. So these are the cursors that we use to increase the width and also increase the height. Then we also have um a cursor that we use to highlight. Maybe you want to highlight all the values that are in your column, or you want to highlight all the values that are in that are in a row. For example, now you want to highlight these values now. As you just come at the top of the column, a down arrow, a tick arrow will appear like this. A tick black arrow will appear like this, facing downward. So you just have to click on it. So if you just click on it now, it will highlight all the column. If you just, you see, or it will highlight it down to the last cell. So it will just highlight all the cells that are in a particular column. Then for the row, it's the same thing. Just come in the row. The cursor will appear like this, facing what? Facing right. So you just click on it. So if you click on it, it will highlight all the cells that are in this row. So that's how we highlight. So these are the type of cursor that we have in Microsoft Excel. Then we have table and table border. Let me delete this, please. We have table and table border. So as you Also, before we move to table and table borders, we have seen how to increase the height and how to increase the width of your columns and rows. So now let's come to table and table border. So anytime you want to design a table in Excel, you want to design a table in Excel, because some people, they mistakenly use these grid lines as their table. No, this grid line is not a table. Now, for example, let's say you want to create a table with these variables: serial number, let's say full name, let's say gender, let's say marital status, then let's say full name, gender, marital status, let's say qualification. Now, let's say these are the variables you want to create your table based on this variable. So before you create your table, you have to know how many records do you want to insert, or how many records do you want to impute in that table. For example, let's say you want to create a table for 15 people. So now what you just do, as we can see now, we have how many headers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you just highlight 5 columns. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you have highlighted 5 columns, right? Then after you have highlighted 5 columns, now how many records do you want to input in your table? Let's say, for example, you want to impute 15. So you just highlight it like this. This is the 5 variables that then you just drag it. So as you can see. And some people mistakenly use these row numbers as serial number. These row numbers, they are not serial number, please. As you can see now, if I want to create a table for 15 people, if I drop it here, if I just stop at here, now if I start these headers now, they will occupy this first row, leaving me with how many? Leaving me with 14 rows. And I want to create data for 15 people. So you see, don't use these row numbers as your serial number, please. So you just highlight, right? So you see, now you have 15. Then come here, you see where they write bottom, they will see where this sign, where they write bottom border. Then click on it, then click on all borders. So you see, now you have insert a border to your table. Let me show you the reason why I say these grid lines, they are just there for decoration. Now, if we remove them now, so you see, now this is your table. Your grid lines are just disappeared. They are just there for decoration. So you understand. So now, this is, let's say, serial number. Let's say this is full name. Let's say this is gender. Then let's say this is marital status. And let's say this is qualification. So you see, now, now this is our table. So now, how do we customize this table? Now, how do we customize this table now? How do we customize this table? So this is what brings us to merge and center and also wrap text. Merge and center and wrap text. Now, what wrap text did is that, as you can see now, this marital status, the cell cannot contain all the text that are in marital status. So now, how do we make the cell to contain all the alphabet? So you just come here and click on this ABC. So you see, you just click on it now. So your text will be within that particular cell. They will not go beyond it. They will be within that particular cell. So you see, now then this one too, you can put it in this. There is this full name too. As you can see, the E just hide. So now just click on this wrap text. Even this qualification too, click on wrap text. So now we are customizing our table, please. We are customizing our table. Then even this one, we can put it on this. So as you can see now, the tables look somehow. Then you can just highlight this, right? Then you could just come to this alignment. Let's centralize it. So you see. As we centralize it, some are still down. So you can just click on this now to make them at the center. So now as you can see, our serial number, our full name, our gender, our marital status, and our qualification, they are all within that particular cell. So now, the next thing is, let's try and customize this header, or let's customize the table at once. So now you just highlight the table, then you give it a font style. Let's say this is Times New Roman. Then this header now, let's bold it. So you see, if you bold it, you can give it any color that you like. So you see, you can give it any color. You can give it background color also. Then you can change the, so you see, you can customize your table anyhow. You can put any color you want, please. So you can put any color you want in your table. So you can put any color you want. So you see, so now, we have done how to increase the width and height of a table. So now this one, you can just increase it small. So you see, you can just increase it small. You can also reduce the weight, the height, sorry. Then this one, uh, let's just increase it small. This, and this is marital status. Then this is gender. Let's just increase it small. Then this is full name. Name is, so now this is too big. So you see, now we have customized our table. This is our serial number. This is our full name. This is our gender. This is our marital status. And this is our qualification. So you see, so this is how you develop a table, or you create a table, and this is how you customize it. There is another way of creating table, but for your level, this is the best way for you to create a table in Microsoft Excel. There is other way that if you create a table, the table will come together with filter, but that one it will confuse you when you are working with it. But this is the best way for you to create your table in Microsoft Excel, please. This is the best way to create your table. And also put a border for the table, and also customize the table. The next thing we are going to discuss on is serial number. Now, how do we create serial number? How do we create a serial number? There are two methods of creating serial number. If you like, you can write one. If you write one, then drag it. If you drag it using your dragging cursor, then at the end, you see autofill option. Click on it, then click on fill series. So it will just insert serial number automatic. Then you just customize it. Normally, each column that has number, those numbers supposed to be at the center, please. Each column that has numbers, the numbers are supposed to be at the center, please. This is the first method of creating serial number. Then we also have second way of creating serial number. The second way of creating serial number is write one, then come down, write two, then highlight both one and two. Highlight the cells that contains number one and two, then drag. You will see as you are dragging, it will be showing you the serial number. So you see, so this is up to 14. So you see, so this is how to create serial number in Microsoft Excel. So these are the two methods. Either you write one and drag, or you just write one and two, then highlight them all, and then at the same time drag. So now, let's take, for example, while constructing my table, or while developing my table, I decide to add another column. Yes, I decided to add a column between gender and marital status. I decided to add a column of age. So now how will I do? How am I going to do that? You just come here, use your what? You will use your highlight all cursor, a cursor that will highlight all the column. Then right click on it. If you right click on it, you see where they write insert. So you see, then you just come here and write age. So you see, now this is how you add a column. The same thing if you want to add a row, maybe between number 4 and number 5. You just come here and write what? Insert. So you see, now you have insert a row. So that's how you insert column, and that's how you insert a row. Then let's say, for example, you just decide to delete, you just decide to delete this column, this H column now. Use your cursor that will highlight all the column. Then right click on it, then delete. Now it will delete all the column. The same thing for this. This is the new this is the new row that we just added. So you can just highlight it all, then click delete. So now you have deleted it. So that's how you insert column, and that's how you delete a column or row. Then, yeah, we have discussed on text wrapping. We have discussed on match and center. Then, now we are going to talk on formula and function. Yeah, what is formula and what is function in Microsoft Excel? Some people used to be confused when they call formula, or when they set formula and when they set function in Microsoft Excel. These things are different things, please. There are two things that are different. A formula, uh, whenever you use a mathematical expression to bring a result in Microsoft Excel, that's what we mean by a formula. Whenever you use a mathematical expression that is either addition, subtraction. So I'm talking on formula and function. So formula and function, please, are two different things. Formula is whenever you use a mathematical expression to bring out something in Microsoft Excel, or to bring out a result. Those mathematical expression can be either addition, multiplication, subtraction, or division. So whenever you by yourself use mathematical expression to bring out a result in Microsoft Excel, so that is what we mean by formula, please. Then function is something that is predefined in Microsoft Excel. Let me make it clear for you. For example, now, you use a mathematical expression of addition to add two numbers, maybe 2 plus 2. So you see, so that means it's a user defined. You are the one who insert or impute the mathematical expression to perform a task for you to bring out a result. That is 2 plus 2, it will give you a 4. So it means it's a formula. While function is a predefined, it is already there in Excel. So whenever you call that function, it will perform that task of summing or adding those two numbers for you. That is 2 plus 2. So no need for you to start writing 2, then write plus, then write another 2 for it to give you 4. But for function, you are to just call the function, insert the variable, then it will perform the task for you. No need for you to suffer yourself doing the expression by yourself. So that's the difference between formula and function. Formula is when you use a mathematical expression to bring out a result in Excel. Then function is something that is predefined in Excel. Excel already understands what that function is meant for. Okay, this function is meant to calculate average. This function is meant to sum. So you just need to call that function and it will perform that specific task for you. No need for you to start doing it by yourself. So formula is a predefined function. Why? Yes, function is predefined. Function is a predefined. Then formula is a user defined. So you see, so function is a predefined of what? Predefined of your formula. You just need to call the function and it will perform the task for you. No need for you to suffer yourself. So that's the only difference between formula and difference between function, please. So don't match the two together. They are different things. They are totally different things. So the next thing we are going to discuss today is simple arithmetic. Yeah, let me just write it. Let me just write it. Simple arithmetic. So in this simple arithmetic, we have addition, subtraction, division, or let's say multiplication. Then let's say we have division. So these are the four simple arithmetic that we have. We have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And there is something I forget to tell you. Whenever you want to write a formula, or whenever you want to write a function in Microsoft Excel, you have to start with equal sign. Yeah, you have to start with equal sign before that formula or that function that you want to impute or you want to insert in Microsoft Excel work. So you have to start with equal sign. If you did not put equal sign, there is no way that function or that formula that you are trying to insert will work. So you have to put equal sign or you have to start with equal sign before your formula will work. So now let's discuss on this simple arithmetic. So we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now let's just customize this table. Let's take for example, you have state name. Let's say for example you have let's say quarter one salary. Quarter one salary. Let's say quarter two salary. Let's just leave it like that. Let's call this total salary. Let's just call this division. Then let's just call this subtraction. Then let's just call this multiplication. So now, as you can see, we have add some variables or some headers in our table. So we have to put border to it. Then this here is already. So let's just increase it small. So I think we are done with this. So now let's see how this simple arithmetic works. So let's see how they work. Now let's add some state. Let's say for example, let's start with Zamfara. Let's say Kano. Let's say Kaduna. Let's say Katsina. Sorry. Let's say Katsina. Let's say KB. Let's say Sokoto. Let's say Lagos. Let's say Ibadan. Let's say Abuja. Let's say Gombe. Let's say Jigawa. Let's say Benue. So let's just leave it like this. Now, let's say for example now, let me just generate please random salaries, please. Let's just say 12,240. This is not part of your class, please. This what so let's just drag it like this. So you see, now as I have told you, if your column has numbers, please try and make it at the center. Then let's do the same thing for this. Let's say from 12. I'm just trying to generate a random number to save time. To save time, please. So let's just drag this. Control C. I just generate a random numbers. So now, yeah. So this is, let's say this is let's say this is for a ministry or payroll of a ministry, please. Now you want to know the total salary Zamfara State people that are working in Zamfara State, the total salary they have collected in quarter one of the year and quarter two of the year. You want to know the total salary. So that's what comes to addition. As I told you earlier, whenever you are trying to write a formula or function in Excel, you have to start with equal sign. You just write equal to. So this one is a formula, please, not function, because we are performing simple arithmetic. So you just come to this and click the cell reference, which is what? Which is this, which is C2, then plus. You all know how to put plus sign. Hold your shift, then come to your equal sign and press it. The plus sign will just show. Then click on this one too. So you see, you just click enter. So you see, now you have sum, or you have add the first, this salary of quarter one of Zamfara State people and the salary of quarter two of Zamfara State people. So now, for you to calculate for the rest of the state, you just use your drag cursor. That's what we have discussed earlier. So you just use it and drag like this. So now it will calculate all the salaries. So you see, it will calculate all the salaries of this. Then, for example, let me add a column, please. Let me add a column, please. Let's take, for example, let's say participant. Or let's just call it members. Or let's just leave it as participant. Let's say this is the total number of participants each state has. Let's say from 12 to 45. So let's say this is the total number of participants each state has. So now, let's say, for example, you just decide to multiply the total salary of quarter one and quarter two, the total salary. You want to multiply it by the total participant from each state. You want to multiply it by the total participant of each state. What you just do, no, you want to divide it, please. You want to divide it by the total participant of each state. You just write equal to the cell address, which is F2, then divided by what? Divided by total participant. So you see, so from this now you can know how much each and every participant is collecting. If they are, that means if they are collecting the same salary. So how much each participant is collecting from the total salary? How much each participant has collected from Zamfara State from this now? So you see, you just drag. So you see, you just uh turn it to center. So you see, now let's customize, because we did not customize this. Then times New Roman. Yeah, let's just leave it like this. So you see, so this is how, or maybe you just decide to divide the total salary by 5. So you see, it's not compulsory that whenever you want to perform simple arithmetic, you have to use cells. No, you can use cell with number. Like for example, now, this example that we are using, we are to divide the total salary by 5. So you see, we just write 5. So now it will just pick that 5 and divide it. Or let's just divide it by 2. Just say this divided by 2. So now it will just divide the total salary of each state by 2. So you just drag. So you see, now it has divided the total salary of each state by what? By 2. So that's just it. Then subtraction. So maybe you decided to subtract, let's say, for example, 5,000 from the total salary of each state. You just decided to subtract 5,000. Because we have calculated the total salary of quarter one and quarter two of a year. So now we just decided to subtract 5,000 from each total salary from each state. So now we just write equal to what's your total salary? This is our total salary for this state, minus what? Minus 5,000. So you see, so you just drag it. So by just dragging it, then you just come here and put it like this. So you see, so that's how we perform subtraction. Then multiplication. Then let's say, for example, you just decide to multiply the first quarter of the salary of each state by the total number of participants from each state. You just write equal to the first quarter salary of each state, then multiply by what? Multiplication is asterisk sign. Some people used to call it star. It's asterisk. Then multiply by the total number of participants. Then we just click enter now. So it has multiplied the first quarter salary of each state by the total number of participants. You just drag. You can just double click. So you see, because here is empty, that's why it gives us this. So you see, so now we just hold it like this. So you see now it has multiplied this. So that's how you perform simple arithmetic on this. That's how you perform simple arithmetic on this. So now, this, so now there's something I forgot to teach you, which is merge and center. Merge and center. Let's say, for example, this is Hammad Technologies payroll. I've shown you how to add a column and how to add a row. Now we want to add a row at the top of this header. So you just come here and insert. So you see, now we have inserted a column, a row. Let's name it Hammad Technologies. Let's say Hammad Technologies payroll. So as you can see now we want this Hammad Technologies to acquire to occupy from here up to here, to be at the center, to be at the minimum of this, to be at the center of this table now. Merge and center is merging together of two or more cells together. Let's take, for example, now, let's say, I want to merge these three cells now. This is this cell D, this is cell D20, E20, and F20. Let's say I want to merge them together. You just come to this and click merge and center. So you see, now it has turned them to one. Or this, let's merge this that has a border. You see it clearly. So you see, just click on this merge and center. So you see, now it has merged how many cells together? Three cells together into one. So that's what merge and center did, please. So now we have to merge this up to here. So you see, then we just highlight. You have to highlight before you can do merge and center. You just click on it. So you see, now it has merged how many cells now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It has merged 9 cells together in one place. Then maybe we can just customize it. Maybe we bold it, increase the font. So you see Hammad Technologies payroll. Then we'll give it border. So this is how we do merge and center in Microsoft Excel. So moving to the next thing in this introduction of Microsoft Excel is average and percentage. Average and percentage. So let's take, for example, you want to find the average of this salary, of the total salary, and you want to find the percentage also. So now let's just add a column. Insert. Yeah. Let's add another column. Insert. So let's say this is average, and let's say this is percentage. Now, average is the total sum divided by total count. That's average. You just sum this and divide by the total number of cells you have. As you can see now, we have how many rows? We have 14 rows. So if you want to calculate it manually using simple arithmetic, you have to start writing it like this. This plus this plus, no, that will take a lot of time. But if you want to calculate the average is 1, please. Don't think we are going to calculate average of Kano, average of Kaduna, average. No, average is 1. We want to calculate the total average of the total salary for the whole state. So you just come here and write equal to average. So you see, now this is a function. We just call the function. What we just need to do now is to just insert the variables. So you see, Excel now knows what this function will perform, this average now. So you see, it's a predefined function in Excel. Now we are just to put the variable. You just highlight using your highlight cursor. Then close your bracket, then press what? Enter. So you see, now this is the average. This is the average of the total salary for the whole state. This is their average salary. Then now, let's calculate it manually. Average, as I said, average is the total sum divided by what? Total count now. We just write equal to, then we'll put bracket because it is going to perform both mass. You all know both mass, bracket of division, addition, subtraction, and multiplication. So now this is, I just add it, we just sum them together. Plus this, plus this, plus this. We are just testing it to see whether if it will give us the same answer. Plus this. So you see, this is time consuming. Plus this, plus this, plus this, plus this. Then this is the total sum now. This is the total sum. Then divided by total count. We have how many states? We have 12 states. So you just write 12. Then click enter. So you see, the average is the same. So average is just total sum divided by total count. So you see, this is calculating average using formula. And this is calculating average using what? Function. So you see, now we use a mathematical expression to bring out a result. So we are the one to impute. But for this now, we just call the function. Then insert the variables. Excel already knows what that function will perform. So it should just go ahead and start and calculate the average. So that's average. This is how we calculate average. Then for percentage. Percentage is specific divided by total multiplied by 100, please. Specific divided by total multiplied by 100. Let me repeat it again. Specific divided by total multiplied by 100. Let's say you want to calculate the average of, the percentage. So now our specific, you want to calculate the percentage of each state from the total salary. So this is the specific salary for this. By combining the two salary, this is their specific salary. This is for Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, up to down. This is your specifics. All this now, they are your specific. Then, so now, what is your total? What is your total? Now, we have done match and center, just very recent. So let's match these two cells together to calculate the total sum of the salary. So you see, we'll just use equal to sum. Then highlights. Close your brackets, then press enter. So you see, now, so if this is our specific, then this is our total. So now, for us to calculate the average, the percentage for each state now, we just say specific divided by this total multiplied by 100. These two, the same thing, specific divided continuously. So now we just come and write equal to, this is your specific, right? Divided by what? Divided by total. This is your specific divided by what? Total. So now let's press enter and see. So you see, this is the percentage. So by default, no need for you to put 100%. You just come to this number and put percentage. So you see, so now from the total, from the total salary, all the state has collected from quarter 1 and quarter 2. From total salary they have collected, Zamfara State has what? Has 8% from this total salary. Zamfara State has 8%. So now, for us to calculate for the remaining state, you will just drag. But if I drag now, let's see what will happen. So why does it give me this hash div? Why? It's because, as you can see now, if you come to the formula, you see, this is F3, this is specific, then divided by total, which is what? F15, this. Now, F3, so now, for these two now, it's supposed to be what? F4 divided by what? Divided by F15. But let's just look into the formula and see. So you see, now it has jumped from what? From this F15, which is our total, to what? To F16, and F16 is empty. So a number divided by 0 is nothing. It's 0. So even this, so you see, it has jumped to what? It has jumped to F15, F17. So, and already our formula is for calculating average is specific divided by total. So our total is not changing. We are using the total to calculate the percentage of the total salary across all the state, we are using this. This one is constant. It's not changing. It's only the specific are changes. So if the specifics are changing, so for our total, no need for it to change. So it means we have to lock it. So for us to lock our total, you just come here and highlight it. So this is your formula bar. Whatever you wrote in a cell, if you click on the cell, you can come here in this formula bar and view it. So you just click on F4. So by just clicking on this F4 now, it will lock it. This locking of formula is not something that's big. It's not a wahala, please. Not something that's big. It will just, you just put $ at the beginning and at the end of your alphabet. It means you are locking the alphabet, or you are locking the column, because it's the column that has alphabet, while the row has what? Has numbers. So you just come at the beginning and at the end. So you just put $ there, then click enter now. So now if you just drag, so you see, by just dragging now, they are using F15. They are using the same thing across all. This one is using F15 to all. So this is the percentage. So you see, now Kano has 7% from the total salary the whole state has collected. Kano has 7%. So as you can see now, which state is this? Abuja. Abuja has the highest percentage from the total salary collected. So you see, so that's how you calculate percentage in Microsoft Excel. And by default, whenever you calculate your percentage, it has to be 100%, please. It has to be 100% whenever you calculate your percentage. As you can see, this is 100%. So if this sum does not give you 100%, so it means there is error in calculating your percentage. So this percentage, whenever you calculate percentage, your percentage has to be 100%. So if your percentage is not up to 100%, so definitely there is something wrong in it. So this is how you calculate your percentage, your specific divided by total. But for you to proceed, you have to lock your total, because it's not changing. You are using it across all the specifics. So no need for it to change. So you have to lock it. So this is all about percentage. So I think this is all what we are going to cover in this introduction of Microsoft Word, or introduction to Microsoft Word. So please, if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat, please. If you have any question, you can drop it in the chat. Please, if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat, please. Please, if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat. For the previous question, please, just go and rewatch the videos, please. Rewatch the videos we have just posted. Rewatch the videos, please, for the previous classes, please. If you have any question, please, you can just ask. And I hope you all submitted your survey, your week 4 assignment, because to start marking it soon, and inshallah, by next week, you'll see your result. Okay, so please, I think for the absence of questions, I think we can just call it a day. If there is no any question, I think we can call it a day. No, please, you cannot do this in on Android phone. Please. You cannot do this on Android phones, please. Just go and buy and look for computer, please. What of those that didn't submit their survey report? Yeah, there is time. You can still submit it, please. You can still submit it. Just continue submitting your survey topics. Just continue submitting it. Yeah, we know actually survey going to the field is something that's difficult, but try and finish all your surveys, please, before next week, please, before next class, because within this weekend we'll be sending you your week 7 assignment. So before we send it, just try and send your week 4, please. So I think for the absence of question, okay, let me see. So this is week 7, please. This is week 7 because you have spent 2 weeks conducting your survey. So this is 7 weeks. So okay, so for the absence of question, I think we can just call it a day. Bye bye. Thank you.